Look at the list of these square numbers. Well, these are the perfect squares of the numbers from 1 to 10. You can see 1 square gives us 1, 2 square 4, similarly 3 till 10. You get these squares? Now look at the unit digits of these squares. What do you see? Well, we can see that 1 is present there, 4 is there, 9 is there. Then look at the unit digits, 6, 5, again 6, then again 9, 4, 1 and 0. So only 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. These are the units digits present in these squares. So we can say that all the square numbers, if they are perfect squares, they will have these digits only in their units digit. Well, how can I say that? You know that maths has numbers 0 to 9 and all the other numbers are combinations of these numbers. So if 1 square gives us 1, 2 square gives us 4, 3 square gives us 9, 4 square gives us 16, 5 square gives us 25, 6 square gives us 36, 7 square gives us 49, 8 square gives us 64, 9 square gives us 81 and 0 may be represented by 10 square here. 10 square gives us 100. So any combination of these numbers which may have any of these numbers in the units digit will have these digits only in their unit digits. Their square numbers will have these digits only in their unit digits. Well, let's check with other numbers and see whether what I am saying is correct or not. See, after 10, we have done 11 to 20 square here. What do you see? Look at them. Again, the same unit digits we are getting here are here the same. So, what I was saying is true here, you can see. Look at other digits also. Well, again, you are getting the same. See, we have highlighted this for you. So, what can we conclude? If a number is a perfect square, it must have 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9 in its units digit. Well, does that mean that if any number is having 2, 3, 7 or 8, that is the remaining numbers in its unit digits, it is not a square? Well, you are absolutely correct. Only the numbers having these digits in the unit digits can be a perfect square. Otherwise, having 2, 3, 7 or 8 in the units digit tells us directly that it is not a perfect square. So, I can say none of the squares end with 2, 3, 7 and 8. So, just looking at a number can tell you whether it is a perfect square or not. See the unit digit? It is 8, and just now we have seen that no square number ends with 2, 3, 7 or 8. So, you don't have to take out the square root of this number. So, large numbers like this, if they have 2, 3, 7 or 8 in the unit digits, you can directly answer that it is not a perfect square. So interesting, isn't it? So if a number ends in 0, 1, 4, 6 or 9, then must it be a square number? That is what I said. Well, I said that if a number is a perfect square, it will have any of these digits in its unit digit. But if any number, it ends with 0, 1, 4, 6 or 9, then is it compulsorily a square number? Well, check for 19. 19 has the last digit or the units digit as 9. See? So, this should be a square number. Well, you can say that 4 square is 16 and 5 square is 25. So, there is no natural number in between 4 and 5. So, how can 19 be a square number? Check. Is 19 present? No. So, we know that 19 is not a perfect square. So, we can say that if a number ends in 0, 1, 4, 6 or 9, just like 19, then it is not necessarily a square number. What we are saying is, if a number is a perfect square or a square number, then it will end with the digits 0, 1, 4, 6 or 9 in the units place. For example, let's check 49. Well, 19 was not a square number, but 49, this has 9 in the units digit, and you know that 49 is actually 7 square. So 49 is a perfect square. So again, it is having a digit which is among these in the units place. Now one more pattern. Let's see. See, these are perfect squares. You can see that. Now, with these lines that are highlighted, can you tell me what pattern we want to show it to you? Look and see. See, 1 and 9. Look at their squares. Specifically, look at the units digit. What do you see? Well, both the squares of 1 and 9 have 1 in their units digit. So, if a number has 1 or 9 in its unit digit, then the square of that number will have 1 in its unit digit as well. Similarly, look at 2 and 8. Look at 2 and 8. Both are having what? 4 in the unit digits of their squares. So I can say that if any number ends with 2 or 8 will have the digit 4 in its square. That is, the square of that number will end in 4. Similarly, look at 3 and 7. So any number ending with 3 or 7 will have 9 in the unit digits of its square. Similarly, 4 and 6 have 6. And 5, we know 5 square or any number ending in 5 will always have 5 in the unit digits of its square. And 0, we know the multiple of 10, that is 10 square, 10 cube, 10 to the power 4, always ends in 0. So 5 and 0, it is very simple that if a square number, say, ends with 5, then, and you know it is a perfect square, then the square root of this will also end in 5. Similarly, if a number ends with 0 and it is a perfect square, then the square root of this will have 0 in its unit digit. So now, just looking at the pattern, can you tell me what will be the ones digit in the squares of these numbers? Well, you know, how do we find out the units digit in the square numbers? Just by looking at the unit digits of these numbers. Look at the pattern and answer this. Well, we know that if a number has 4 or 6 in its unit digit, then the square of that number will have 6 in its unit digit. So I can say that the square of this number will have 6 in the unit digit, or it will end with 6. Similarly, look at 8. Well, any number that ends with 8 or ends with 2, their square numbers will have 4 in its unit digit. So I can say this number ends in 8, so its square will have 4 in the units digit. Look, 4 always has 6 in the unit digit and 8 always has 4 in the unit digit. Their square numbers will always end in these digits. So now you're clear with no square number ends in 2, 3, 7 or 8. Till now you have learned how to identify the unit digit of a square of a number just by looking at the number itself, or the unit digit of a number itself. Now let's go opposite. Here we have given you a square number, and just by looking at the unit digit of this square, I can tell you what is the square root of this number. Well, this is a very fast method of calculating square roots. This method is also known as a procedure of Vedic maths? Well, concentrate on this. First of all, look at the unit digit of this number. See, it is 4. So I can say that the square root will have 2 in its unit digit. Well, how did I do that? Square root this last digit, 4. When square rooted, we get 2. We know that root over 4 is 2. So the first step is just look at the units digit and square root it. Now, the next step is subtract this number which you got from 10 and write the answer. Well, 10 minus 2 is 8. Well, these are the two possible ones place of the square root of this number. So what did I do? First of all, look at the units digit and square root it. And then the number which you get, subtract it for 10 and write the answer. So these are the possible two digits which you can get as the unit digit of the square root of this number. Now, look at the second pair of digits. First pair was 24. Now look at the second pair. That is 10. Now this pair will tell you what will be the other digit or the tens digit in the square root. First of all, tell me which is the square or which is the square number that comes just before 10. Well, you can say that 9 is that square number that comes just before 10, or it is less than 10. So square root 9. You get 3. Now write this 3 at both the places. That is as a tens digit of these two numbers. So now you know that 32 or 38. These two are the possible answers as the square roots of 1024. So this is how we calculate two possible answers for 1024. So now you can be sure that square rooting 1024 will either give you 32 or either give you 38. Now how to find out what is the right answer, whether 32 or 38? Well, if you are smart enough, you can find out 35 square very easily. We have told you how to find out 35 square in a very short method. Well, 35 is a multiple of 5. And whenever you have to find out the square of a number that is a multiple of 5, there is a very simple method. You can see. How do we find out 35 square? Just take the number before 5 and multiply it with the next number. So here we are multiplying 3 with the next number 4 into 100 plus 25. This 25 is constant whenever we find out the square of a number which is multiple of 5. So 3 into 4 gives us 12. 1200 plus 25 is 1225. So you can see 35 square is very, very easy to find. So it is 1225. Now compare it with these. Now if 35 square is 1225, then 38 square cannot be less than this. It will always be greater than this. So this option is not valid and we are left with 32. So 32 is the square root of 1024. So this was a very fast method of taking out the square root of 1024. Similarly, find out the square root of the square number 1369. Just in the method I told you. First of all, again, look at the ones digit. Well, first look at this number in pairs. We have made this pair first, that is 69, and the other pair is 13. Now, the unit digit of this pair will tell us about the unit digit of the square root of this number. So, first step is just square root the units digit. Square root of 9 is 3. Now, subtract this number from 10. What do you get? 7. Well, 7 and 3 are those digits which when squared, their unit digits will be what? 3 3s are 9 and 7 7 is 49. So both their squares have 9 in their unit digits. So the possibilities here are 3 and 7 for the unit digit of the square root of this number. Now the second pair will tell us about the tens digit of these two numbers. Look at it, 13. Now tell me which is that square which comes just before 13 or is just less than 13. Well, again 9 is a square number which is just less than 13. Otherwise 4 square gives us 16. So 16 is beyond 13. So we cannot take 16. We have to take a number less than 13. So 9 is less than 13. So square root 9, you get 3. So we can say that 33 or 37 is the square root of 1369. Now which answer will be correct? 33 or 37? Again 35 square will come to our rescue. Find out 35 square using that simple method. Now again 35 square is 3 into 4, that is the number just before 5, into the next number, into 100 plus 25, that is 1225. So now compare this with this number. If 35 square is 1225, then 33 square has to be less than this, because 33 is less than 35. So 33 square will be less than 1225. But we are having a number which is larger than or greater than 1225. So this option is not valid. We are left out with 37. So 37 is the square root of 1369.